going on, ladies? Happy Monday. Thanks for joining the show. It's going to be a good one as always. We ain't having losing. Hell yeah, Sam Wood. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. Happy Monday to all of you. Let's kick this week off right. We could be landing ourselves some big-time commits here this week, so we're going to be keeping our eyes and ears peeled on that. But for tonight's show, we got a lot to go over. It was a big weekend. It was a Friday Night Light weekend, meaning barbecue followed after that. So we've got a insider Gator from Gator Country that's going to be talking about Friday Night Lights because it was much different than it's been in the past couple of years. Excited to pick his brain. We were talking about it, like wanting to see it, wanting to see this 7-on-7 challenge they had, and got somebody that was there. So we're going to talk all about it, see how he thought of it. And then if we could, Stephen Harris is supposed to be coming on because he went to the barbecue following the Friday Night Lights event with the former Gators. Talked to him yesterday a little bit about it. Said incredible things are happening. But I can't get a hold of him. I don't know where he's at. So if you guys have Earth to Steven, tell him we're looking for him. And he's called for duty here in the next couple of minutes. But before we do that, let's introduce our first guest of the evening, Mr. Gentry Hawk from Gator Country. Gentry, how we doing, man?
What's up, man? It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Yeah, I was living vicariously through your tweets on Friday, watching your clips from Friday Night Lights. You're posting a lot of St. Augustine High, which I appreciate, repping the 904, who ultimately,
Yes,
spoiler
sir.
alert, did win the first annual 7-on-7 with Brandon James as the head coach, which is pretty cool. It looked pretty. Is he the head coach? I thought or is he like an assistant coach?
He's the offensive coordinator. Yeah,
That's what I
offensive
thought. I was like,
coordinator.
yeah, I didn't think he was the head coach. I know he was like an assistant coach at St. Joe and then moved over to St. Augustine. But I was like, I don't remember him being the
Mm.
head coach. So let's talk about it, man. You
He
were
was
talking.
live though, man.
Go ahead.
No, he was live. He was active for sure. He was
Yeah,
going crazy.
the clip, man. He was getting after, which is it's awesome to see. It's a really cool electric event. 7-on-7s are always a good time. They're always fun. And we were talking before the show. Again, you've gone to the last couple of Friday Night Lights, as have I. Again, they've been very recruiting centric for the past couple of years. And look, this was still a recruiting event, but it was much, much different. Talk to us about before they got to the stadium, the prelims, I guess you would call it, and how that process went, and just kind of the event in general.
Yeah. So the Swamp Shootout was essentially a large 7-on-7 bracket format tournament basically. It was made up of around 20 high school football teams from Florida, and I think there were like one or two teams from Georgia, maybe.
Okay.
It's totally different than Friday Night Lights. The majority of games took place inside the practice facility and the practice field. And then the final 8 teams remaining played a single elimination game in the stadium to advance to the semis and the finals and so forth. St. Augustine ended up playing Booker T. Washington in the finals, and they came out on top. I think the other game was, I want to say, Booker T beat Mainland to advance to the finals, and then St. Augustine beat Jones. So Jones and Mainland were the two other teams in the semifinals, and St. Augustine went on to win it.
And for people who don't know, Booker T and St. Augustine, it's like an old time rivalry back in the early 2000s. They played against each other. I don't know if it was a state championship. They played each other against the playoffs. I remember it being a big deal when I was in middle school. That's how long ago that was. So pretty cool for them to get the W there. I'm sure there's Brandon James, I think, was a part of that team that played against Booker T, or probably was a freshman during that time. So it's probably sweet for him.
I think you're right about that, yeah.
Yeah. So again, I think what we were kind of talking to a little bit before the show, and I kind of alluded to it a little bit of, look, I like where this is headed. I think it's a fantastic event. This is where high school football really is emphasizing, are these 7-on-7 camps to really bring these guys, and it helps with their ratings. And we were talking, and you were kind of letting me know, like, look, is this going to have an impact on rating like a typical 7-on-7 event? We've talked about it all the time. You know, no games will be played, but these guys' ratings will adjust based on these camps, based on Elite 11s and how they perform, right? Because it's the first time they'll get to see them against different types of talent and some elite talent. There's some big 4-star players that were playing in this competition. Do you think that it has an impact on that, or will it impact it a little bit?
Yeah, I think it has. Like I said, I think it has its positives and its negatives. Um, I think there were players out there that proved that they do deserve a ratings bump. One of them was a 2025 receiver, Browder. He's a NC State commit. I thought he had an amazing showing. Great ball skills, um, great route running. Just a very polished receiver who I think's really underrated. And I think could use a bump. And then there were some kids on the other side who kind of came out of off the line lackadaisically almost. Um, Very lazy routes, you could say. But obviously, nothing's gonna beat what Friday Night Lights used to be in the past with Urban. Obviously, we didn't hear or see much buzz from the Swamp Shootout other than a couple prospects receiving offers. But with some tweaks, I do think that this new camp format has potential, like you said, to have somewhat of a similar impact when it comes to recruiting in the future. Like Friday Night Lights had more of a focus on getting specific top players and prospects to camp and getting to showcase what they could do against other top talent while going through individual circuits, I guess you could say. The Swamp Shootout was essentially completely different from anything we've seen Friday Night Lights be in the past. The teams were invited. The teams that were invited were teams that have had players camp at Florida before in the past, with a mix of teams who have had players to go on to sign with Florida in the past. One example is LJ McCray. He graduated from Mainland High School, and they were one of the top teams in this whole little tournament. So I think the Swamp Shootout was more of a camp to get players noticed, and I think that played out well for multiple prospects across the state, more than it did have a negative impact. It really showed their team chemistry. Um, that's something that Friday Night Lights didn't really show in the past.
Sure.
Um, for example, Samorian Wingo, he's a four-star receiver out of St. Augustine High School, and he went on to receive an offer shortly after the conclusion of the camp. And I personally think he was the MVP of the camp. And because of that, I think this camp has an enormous impact in that aspect and can continue to have an impact for, many years to come. But I also think it can meet in the middle with shifting the focus back on recruiting a little bit, like I said, and kind of splitting it down the middle, so to speak, because I don't think we really had that much this year. So, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier with the specific teams that were invited. And I think if the focus shifted towards inviting those top teams across the country that had several current Gator prospects or prospects that the
Mm,
Gators wanted to make a move on, then I think we could see a similar impact. But I personally think that would be the best route because you essentially get the best of both worlds. You get players on those high school teams with some exposure while getting several kids on campus, that are on your recruiting board. So, like in my opinion, the players who had the best showing in camp weren't players that Florida necessarily has the best chance of signing at all.
sure.
Um, Camden County High School out of Georgia, they had a 6'7", I think 235-pound 5-star tight end. I mean, huge. One of the biggest kids I've seen on campus. I think his name was Elias Williams. He nearly made every single catch that I saw on Friday. But like I said, he's committed to Georgia. So, he was probably the best prospect on Florida's board that attended the camp, but, the Gators don't have the best shot at signing him. Um, you know, but, like I said with Jamar Browder too, I mean, he's he's one of those lower ranked kids that, I think could use a bump, but I don't even think he has an offer from Florida. So it's those kind of things that I think could play a factor. But so
So
you
I
can
think
technically get an idea. Sorry, go
no, yeah, I think well, a
ahead.
couple things that you were kind of I was thinking about as you're going over those things is one being, look, we've had Shannon Terry on. He's talked about what goes into rating these guys, and they'll ask coaches right on their visits how somebody responds, how somebody is. So, like you said, somebody come off the line slow. Look, I'm sure a coach is going to say, "Hey, we had him here for these events. They didn't take it very seriously. That's how their mindset was." So, like, it probably will have an impact. I know there was an MVP that was given. I'm sure that will be taken into consideration. And then you talked about the schools that were chosen for this event. Again, it wasn't very I wasn't advertised as much. We didn't know about it. It kind of caught us by surprise. Friday Night Lights that day has moved over the last couple of months too, or years as well. It's been later in July. Last year it got moved up. This year I think it was even sooner than last year. And so maybe you do take more consideration of what teams you select. Now they probably selected teams that could make the travel that they didn't have to pay for, but like you said, if you're Florida, do go, hey, we like imagine Duncanville coming down for that out of Texas. There's three schools you can think of from Texas that you can go pull. Maybe it's worth paying for them to come down, right? Maybe you go get Jeremiah Smith School down in Fort Lauderdale, right? These big kinds of an IMG, right? You pay for it to happen. You make it happen. Obviously, the most 7-on-7 events, they're groups put together from those local areas. They're not like this where it's the high school, so they're amplified a little bit more. But I like seeing them in their natural environment with their high school representatives. So they're like you said, there's a ton of potential there. They need ideas. Give us a call. We're here for it, but they usually don't. And again, I think.
Yeah, man. I
Good.
Oh no, I think you touched on it great. Like you said, it may not seem like it right now. It didn't really have the biggest buzz around it. I think most of that is because, like you said, there wasn't a big advertisement behind it. It didn't really get marketed too well. But it's one of those things that has, I mean, enormous potential. I mean, it'll be hard to come close, like I said, to what Friday Night Lights used to be in the past. But I think it could. I mean, I think it could really come close and just have a really big impact, in the ways that we said.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it kind of caught us off guard. I'm glad that you were able to come on at least give us some insight because it did feel like it was well thought out in the sense of how it was executed. I saw the picture of the jumbotron with the quad, the March Madness type style box, which obviously that takes some thought into consideration. I'm sure it was exciting for the recruits to be able to see their school up there, to see that process break down. And again, from what it was last year, it wasn't very exciting either. It got rained out. They weren't even able to go to the swamp. So it was a lot of just training and getting to know prospects, which they're changing that. I'm sure they'll probably still do camps in the swamp to continue to get to know those guys. But again, I think the ultimate thing is, hey, how can we pinpoint what schools we want to come here? And even though they may be interested in other schools, it gives them an opportunity to play in the swamp to get that vibe. And if you do let people come in, give it a swamp style type of environment. And that's what Friday Night Lights would turn into. Is the swamp would be pretty electric. People love watching those one-on-ones and watching those recruits. So you can really give because the spring game is an opportunity for that, to give them that vibe. It's a different kind of vibe for a younger crowd that it's free. It doesn't take much work. Just say, hey, we're having a Friday Night Lights 7-on-7 championship here in the swamp. People are going to come watch. I promise you, it's going to happen. The football fanatics will be there like they always are. And when it's organized, it's got a little more of a ring to it, especially if you invite the local kids too, because I don't think Buchholz or Gainesville High or Newberry High was there.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Like you said, I mean, I think it could be just great in that aspect. And like you said off camera, I think streaming it would be a great idea. But I don't know if, like I said, if there's any restrictions behind that or any rules in place that wouldn't allow that. But I think it really is something that has enormous potential, and I think it could only get better in the future.
Absolutely. Well, Gentry, man, I really appreciate you hopping on. I think I reached out to you yesterday and said, hey, I was living vicariously through your tweets. Again, we didn't have much on it, and I found it very intriguing. And I saw that you were there, and I was like, look, I'm sure you were reporting on it. I'm sure you'll have some information on it. And of course, for sure enough, you did. And I appreciate you being ready to rock and roll. Tell them where they could give you a follow, man, and keep it up with you.
Yeah, man. So y'all can find me on Twitter at Gentry Hawk GC. And make sure to give a sub or follow to Gator Country as well. And I also want to give a big shout out to my partner, Nick Marcinko. He does a lot of the work for us, from covering baseball, football, basketball. I think he may even do more sports than that. Make sure to give him a follow as well at Nick, or I think Marcinko _Nick on Twitter. And yeah, you can find us there.
Good stuff. Yeah, Nick's great. We've used his content before. So shout out to Nick. We'll definitely have to try to get him on as well, man. But Gentry, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Go Gators. And till next time,
Yes,
boss.
sir, man. Thank you. Go Gators.
Yes, sir. Boys and girls, I'm looking for Stephen Harris. If you guys have any idea of where he's at, sitting in my way. We were chit-chatting yesterday. I have a little bit of information that I can talk about because I at least talked to him about his visit there. Really cool to see that he got an invite to the barbecue, really trying to bring back that, that Gator nostalgia, that Gator vibe that we talk about all the time, something that I think it's been lacking and missing, of just bringing back old former Gators to show them what it means to be Gator, right? What it means to play against some of these teams. So I'll give him a few more minutes. If not, I'll just kind of give you, what we spoke about, show you some of the pictures that he took and shared. Hopefully he's okay with that. I imagine he is okay with that. Maybe he's too big for us now. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they just, they go on Feinbaum and ESPN, and we're just thinking of the past now. But I do have to say the show is sponsored by BetterHelp. High Top Sports is sponsored by BetterHelp. They pay the bills, get the lights on, turned to us we appreciate that. So quick shout out to them. This year has gone by so quickly. What's something you're proud of in 2024 so far? What's something you still want to accomplish this year? Life goes fast. It's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. Love BetterHelp. I think it's a fantastic program and company. Allows for you to sign up, again, for therapy, whether it's one having an accountability partner, set goals, achievements. Maybe you need someone to kind of just get something off your chest. It's affordable. The biggest thing is convenience. Set it up when it's easy for you. You take a test. They give you a therapist based on the answers. And if you want to change, if you feel like, hey, we're not really connecting, you can change at any time. It's a fantastic. We love working with them. So make sure you guys take a moment. Visit betterhelp.com/hightop today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hightop. So shout out to them for always helping us out. So look, let's talk about, again, it's going to be two of me's because Stephen Harris is not here. And look, you see here the photo of him and the family. Apparently his other son, myself, wasn't invited to this family event, but some awesome, great photos. So look, some of the things we talked about, I don't know exactly everything I can say. We were supposed to have a pre-convo of some of the things that they went over, but one of the things I will say is Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks is that guy. It's coaching. The staff seems to love him. What he's providing to the team is just, he really thinks he's going to have a massive year. And we've been hearing that kind of quietly as well too. Cam Jackson obviously being the center. We thought Joey Slackman was going to be the guy, but Cam Banks is really taking a step up. Makes you wonder too if that Chris McKellen transfer to Arkansas. There's a lot of head scratchers early on. Maybe Cam really has taken that stride to being him. And talking with Stephen Harris about it yesterday, says, look, he really is making that movement. He said he got to talk to Ron Roberts. Said Ron Roberts showed a lot of love, really excited where the program is going. Again, he was kind of keeping me in the dark because we were going to express it, but he tweeted even sunglasses like 25 minutes ago. I was like, this guy's like an insider now. That doesn't even keep me in the loop of what's happening here. But says, yeah, definitely a solid kid. Ron Roberts, again, was excited, was a fan of the Gator greats that were there, that they all spoke to. Again, they want to get more of that. Chapman was obviously a big emphasis on that, bringing the old Gators, involving them. And again, we've talked about this from time to time. It feels like we've lacked that. Bringing Brandon Spikes onto the staff just last year, that was a big Billy move. Billy Gonzalez bringing back that older player. So I love hearing this. I think I've talked with Pounties. I've talked with Joe Hayden. We interviewed these guys, Major Wright. And I kind of asked him, like, where's the disconnect? And Pouncey even says, look, anytime Florida wants us, we'll be back there. We're ready to rock and roll. We love the orange and blue. We would love to, pump and organically promote this school. Most coaching staffs don't always reach out to former players. That's just what it is. They've got their way and how they want to do things. But Gerald Chapman obviously is kind of stopping the buck there. You saw the pictures of all the old Gator legends that were part of those championship teams were able to come in and connect. You see Big Dez, you see Cam Jackson, you see Kelby Collins looking like an absolute beast over there. I think it was Austin Armstrong, the smallest of the bunch of that group of guys. And of course, Ron Roberts, just Cam, Big Dez. So love seeing everyone get together again for a big weekend for the Florida Gators. And again, this weekend has always been big. Friday Night Lights has always been big. And there's always been the big barbecue. The barbecue didn't seem like it was much of a recruiting tactic as it's been in the past. The barbecues, we've always kind of landed a recruit or two from the big barbecue weekends. This seemed to be more of a family gathering, emphasize the current players, the older players. And again, Maybe some older players or some newer players as well. I don't know. Stephen Harris is supposed to provide that information. So, look, sorry we don't have everything that we thought we would, but ultimately I kind of got a good synopsis of what happened. He also said he made some observations that he wanted to share with me, not publicly maybe. So I don't know what that meant. I was going to maybe, once I spoke to him, say, hey, we can definitely talk about that online. You know what I mean? People would love to hear it. So, let's see. Holly's never coming back? I don't know. I haven't spoke to him in a couple weeks. My goal is for this year to have Holly back on the show. I'm sure if I said, hey, Holly, will you come back on? He'll come back on. I don't think he has any issues. But, I mean, I don't think it's going to be like what it was. That's for sure. Devil Dog, what's up, baby? Go Gators, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well, my man. I was wondering where you've been. Muddy says, haven't mentioned it much, but I'm curious to see the gains our young secondary made. I'm excited for practice to start back up and check out the progress of these guys. Man, I am so ready for football. Watching Friday Night Lights, watching these clips and getting ready for today's show. I always get fired up for the season. We're heading into July. I love summertime, long days, beach days, pool days. But right around this time, it starts getting buggy. It starts getting so hot where you're like, I'm done being outside all damn day. And you start sniffing that football season's coming around. So August, I'm going to be churning and burning, boys. I think somebody said we need to have a countdown clock counter on a comment section. Phenomenal suggestion. I think we're down to like 68, 67 days. It was 69 days the other day, but we moved on. How about that jeans commercial? I mean, look, the perfect jean. I think they still represent us. Right now, we've been shouting out BetterHelp. I mean, I'm always down to talk about the thick jeans and how they look on the thick daddy. You know how the boys rock and roll. 250 strong, boys and girls. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Also, some news. Joshua Moore was set to announce his commitment tomorrow. I swear to goodness, y'all be laughing at me when I say Billy watches this show. They've moved his commitment to Wednesday. I can't make this shit up. I'm telling you right now. I would have done what it needed to be done on Tuesday to make a show, because that's what we do here at High Top Sports. We're for the people. But Billy was like, you know what? I know the best day of the week's coming on Wednesday. I know Shelton and the boys be ready to rock and roll. Let's give them something to be fired up about. I can't remember the last time that I've rocked a spacesuit on a Wednesday. I don't know if it's been ever. You know the last time that I think I rocked a spacesuit on a Wednesday? Do you want to know when the last time it was? I could be wrong here, but I think it was my birthday 2 years ago, DJ Lagway. I don't know, but check me, fact check me. It would have been 2022 December. Might have been a Thursday though. So that means it's been I honestly don't know if I've ever worn a suit on Wednesday. I don't know. Sean Gable says, I'm loving the show. I'm loving you, Sean. And Adrian says, love this channel, brother. Go. Got big expectations for Mertz and the defense. Well, I appreciate your love, Adrian. And as myself, we've got life. 1 moment, bro. 3 minutes. Stephen Harris is here. Don't go anywhere. So now I've got to do the puppet dance for 3 minutes. We're here, 300 strong. Nobody leave. John Wilcox. I saw the tweet go through. It must have went through. None of my texts were working, but John Wilcox drops the hammer and Stephen Harris says, let's go. All right. I said, no worries, champ. He's a busy man. He's got you saw the photos. He's got 6 kids. They're running around, constant things going on. I got it. No big deal. No big deal. We got Mama Harris in there. My man got gang. Let's go. The High Top Billy interview needs to drop before the season. I honestly think we run some NCAA live stream when it drops. I already told the wife it's July. I'm going to order it early on Sunday, and she set up some kind of like baby shower or some nonsense on that Sunday, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna pit. I don't know. I'm gonna be pissed. So it might start late, but yes, short story short, I'm gonna be streaming all day the day that it drops. I've also set up a date with Jake Crane because him and I are gonna go out at game 1. No practice, no shenanigans. Auburn versus Florida. Jake Crane's coming on the show. We're going imano. I've already set the date. So yes, we're bringing the thunder. All right, boys and girls, you best believe it. As for the High Top Billy interview, I've honestly, it was exciting. It's a thought. I don't really care to have it. I just don't. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just don't think it'd be very exciting. He's going to give the same answers that he always gives. I'd rather interview Austin Armstrong over a beer. I'd rather talk with Coach Spurrier, the old ball coach, pick his brain a little bit. I'd rather bring Judd back on. You know what I mean? That's what I'll be talking about. $5 from the man Keena Johnson says, so ready for August and some Gator football. You're telling me, baby. You're telling me. The Clement's divorced. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, divorced the wife? You're telling me, bro. You're telling me. I was like, babe, I literally told her about it. And then like a couple days later, she's like, hey, on this Sunday. I was like, whoa, what Sunday? I go, babe, I already told you that day. That day in the next like 72 hours are blocked off. Like, I am not a father nor a husband, okay? Don't bother me. Locking the door. Get away from me. You know what I mean? So, she didn't listen. But boys and girls, if you're just joining us, Stephen Harris will be joining the show here in just a moment to talk about his visit this past weekend at the Swamp with all the boys, all the players, previous players. I don't know if I can say this. I think I can say this. In our Discord, we've got our man Delta Gator that comes in every once in a while. He's like the golden child of the everybody stops when he comes in. Like, he's like, hi everybody, and literally puts the whole chat on an axis. Like, it just freezes when Delta Gator comes in because we know what's to follow is usually some juice. Now, Delta's also the one that dropped the hammer that Trevor Etienne would be leaving well before it came out. But we don't hold that against him. He's just reporting the news. But Swolder's saying there's a lot of news to report between now and July. And I can confirm that Delta Gator, I can say this because he put it in the room, that he believes, and we did the math yesterday in the calculator. If you guys haven't seen the show, shame on you. You need to go watch it. Not right now, obviously, because if you're watching me. You don't need to leave. But I was, we like to finagle around with the calculator and where Florida could end up. And he said, I believe Florida will be a top 10, maybe a top 5 class by the beginning of the season. His words, not mine. This is, and Delta Gator isn't some sunshine pumper. Delta Gator is highly connected, well intertwined with the Gator sphere. That's all that I'm gonna say. Okay, do with what you will. Don't come at me with, oh, it's got sunshine pumper just talking. No. That I'm giving it to you. I'm not even taking credit for this shit. I'm just one to the other, because some people in here aren't members, aren't part of the Discord, and I just gave you some. I mean, that's months worth of just juice that I just vomited all over you. You're welcome for that. Devil Dog says Delta needs to come in Discord and say, hey, he has big news, then tells us he saved money with Geico. He does sometimes not, may not give us the complete thunder package, but I would say 98% of the time he's bringing the juice. He's bringing the juice. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. Ron Roberts and Austin at the same time. I think me and Ron Roberts would get along. I would love to interview Tyler Miles, too. I would love to pick his brain about working out. Like legit. Hi, Top. Hey, do you have the soundboard hooked up? I do have this sound, Cody. Where is it? Let me go to... I don't have my old sounds yet. But I do have this sound that I found the other day, which got me fired up. It's gonna be gone! It's a touchdown! Oh my! It's gonna be gone! It's a touchdown! Goosies. I love that sound. All right, Mr. Harris. This guy's really just... He said 3 minutes, 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? We can wait, though. Shelton, do you believe we can have a top 10 class? I mean, look, I mean, yeah, I believe we can, based on the things that I put together yesterday on the show, or on who we're favored to get. I like the quality that's coming in. Again, I do think a lot of it's going to rely on how the season rolls out, but 100% I believe we can roll in a top 10 class without a shadow of a doubt. How much for me to come on the show? LLJK. Like, I got to pay you, Sean? We got 450 people in here. Maybe Stephen Harris is just waiting for it to build up. You know what I mean? Like, he's just letting the chat build up. If you guys are just joining us, we're waiting for Mr. Stephen Harris to come in and drop an absolute bombshell. Patrick says, oh shit, I'm late. You're not late. Stephen Harris is late. I feel like I'm talking a lot of shit here, about a grown man that's 6'4", 300 pounds with him not being here. Probably should be easy. Okay, next time he could literally just like package me up and put me into a little to-go box if he wanted to. That's my beat, Harris. I'm just kidding. I love it. My dog. That's my dog. Can't believe he's keeping us waiting though. We'll give him a little shit. I feel like I mean, we're having a good time. The chat's vibing. Some of you may be sick and tired of waiting, and that's fully reasonable. But it's Monday afternoon. I know the finals are on right now for hockey, but I don't think there's too many hockey fans in here. Shut up, Mr. Nobody. Bitch ass. Adrian says, Miami is the biggest game of the year, boys. It will set the tone for the season, and if we win, then I strongly believe we go 7-0 headed into Georgia game. Me being a biased-ass Florida fan. You know what I'm saying? I love it. How true is it about Griffin reclassifying to 2025? So, Sean, if you're taking that from the show here, off of me saying that there's going to be him reclassifying, I wouldn't take any grain of salt with that. That was me just being literally, just from covering this for as long as I've have now, just sniffing the air. They're probably, if you heard it elsewhere, maybe there could be some legs behind it, but for me, I'm just pulling grass here. You talk your shit to 7'6", 450 pounds, man, every Wednesday. Yeah, you don't count, Swolder. I'll package you up in a little to-go box. Steven is trying to make the Jay-Z entrance. You know what I'm saying? Anything good in your Monster Cup? My blue cup? No, just water. 12-0, let's go. I love it. Sheldon, can you talk more about our biggest teenager for basketball? He can't just reach up and drop the ball through the hoop, bro. Timothy, the 7'9" kid, bro. And he's not like a Victor Wembanyama 7'9", like skin and bones. This kid's a tree trunk, 7'9". Biggest high schooler to play basketball ever, or to commit to a Power 5 or some nonsense. Absolute madness. Absolutely madness. Kid's huge. We got Mississippi State and UCF fans talking major shit. I wouldn't even waste my time, John Wall. Like, every dog has its day. Uh-oh. Delta Gator here with a quick little insight. Somebody asked about Solomon Thomas, says, I don't think so. I think... Question... Hey, while we're here, we'll give you a little insight to the Discord. Question was asked about Solomon Thomas, because obviously there's a lot of talk that we could possibly be flipping him. But there was a video or a quote that came out and says, I'm locked in with FSU. So Wes asked, hey, Delta Gator, what's up with this? Delta responds, I don't think so. I think FSU leaked that to pressure him to flip. Just things that you get in the Discord when you become a member. That's all I'm saying. Love you too, Andrew. Good to see you, Bubba. Sheldon, any surprise commit you think we can get? I mean, I don't know what's a surprise to you. It's not a surprise to me. I already know about it. They're always surprises, baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we do need a DJ cutout, like a big head, a little fat head. I feel Natty's coming in multiple sports. I love it. Sheldon, do you see the firepower the girls' softball team is bringing in? Softball's bringing in some juice. Baseball's bringing in some juice. But, hey, what I am excited about, I'm real quick, we can still rock and roll. Stephen Harris is extremely late now. Let me text him real quick. The Olympics are coming up. Huge fan of the Olympics. A lot of Gators racing in the swimming part of the Olympics, which fires me up. But love me the Olympics. Order me bro. I ordered me the freshest hat. Like, it's going to give a run for hat of the year. Like this, I'm talking, this is the creme de la creme of hats. It's an everydayer hat too. I'm fired up. Like I used to be, I collected hats and I've kind of slowed down in my old age. This hat has me fired up. Not to collect hats again, but like it's one that's like you hang on to. Oh, it says ringing. Oh shit. Hold on. Boss been trying to call in. Doesn't even give me the 411 here. All right, Stephen Harris is coming in right now, boys. Enough of me just rambling. Let me get old boss a new one here. All right. We're getting them. This guy's big time now. He's getting invited to events. ESPN. He's got insider information. He's over here tweeting out sunglasses. We're a thing of the past, boys. We're a thing of the past. Unbelievable. 426 strong, all waiting for Stephen Harris. We getting 2 commits this week? Is that a question or a statement, Ozo? I like to watch Gators compete in the Olympics. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Florida did win championship for track again. Shelton, are you a ginger? No, I'm blonde, baby. My beard is a ginger. You know what I'm saying? I'm texting Stephen Harris. Y'all just give me a moment. Man, you should have heard what the chat. He's not here yet. Oh, there he is. Steven, you should have heard what the chat was saying about you, man. About you being late. I couldn't believe it.
No call, no show.
I was like, this guy's ghosting us. This guy's big time now. Gets invited to the weekend. He's a recruit insider. I was talking some mad shit. Don't go back and watch it. I was like, I shouldn't be saying this shit about a 6'4". I wouldn't say plus 300, but you look like a lean, mean fight machine over there. You be running in trash bags every damn day, looking like
trying to do a little something, man. You know,
we saw Mama Harris. We saw Mama Harris. You better get your ass in line, okay?
Yeah. Right.
Look, yeah. I see why now.
Yeah, like, I got to.
Mama Harris, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Papa Harris had to dial it up.
Yeah, she run a tight ship, kid.
She do. She's like, hey, you run around looking like that. You better lock it in. Okay? Yeah. Well, how you doing, big dog?
Right. Doing good, man. Good to see you, bro.
You too, man. Better late than never. I was dancing around over here like a puppet, keeping him entertained.
Yeah, I think you got top flight security clearances now, so my old password don't work.
That's true. I'm over here giving you shit about being big time, and you can't even get into the login. So that might be on me. I'll take a little bit of. I'm taking like a 5-minute delay.
All good.
So talk to us, man. I gave a little bit of insight of our text message. We didn't get to talk. We were supposed to have a pre-show. You said you had some things that you witnessed that you didn't know if you wanted to air publicly. So why don't you tell us now, and then I'll let you know whether or not it should be aired publicly.
Yeah, no, man. It was a great event, man. Just getting back, being around the guys, man. Seeing Dunlap and Spikes and Big Money, Gerard Warren, and Coach Mark Campbell, who was influential in a lot of our careers at Florida. If a lot of guys don't know him, he's one of our real OGs. He was there when Big Money was there. He was like a strength and conditioning coach, kind of the guy who looks over all of us, the one you could talk to about anything. And if you had any off the field issues, he was that guy. So just having all of us back. Joe Cohen was there. Jeremy Mincy was there. I don't know if I mentioned Marcus Thomas was there. Just all of us, just coming back. A lot more guys wanted to make it. I know Jarvis Moss wanted to make it, but he couldn't. Just being in Colorado, still trying to, navigate the timing and stuff. But we all plan on being back for a lot more things, especially like practice this fall and stuff like that. To rile the guys up. But it was good, man, for everybody to see the guys, kind of share our stories with them. Tell them some of the key points that made us who we were in our career, and then getting to hear from them a little bit. And then we spent some time just hanging out, talking to the guys, playing cards and stuff like that. But really just, picking their brains, everybody going around, just, getting in their ear, telling them the stuff that we seen, amongst the unit, the stuff that we would like to see, and then just talking to them about technique and stuff like that. Shout out to Coach Chapman for even reaching out. You know what I mean? As soon as he got to Florida, he made a point to reach out to the former players. He reached out to me. within the first, I believe, week of him getting the job, and he just told me he appreciate everything that I've meant to the Gators and everything that I've done, and that he was determined to get it back, and that he wanted us around, and so he orchestrated this, got us all together, and we're looking forward to doing it a lot more often, and to try to get other position groups involved. Just the energy amongst all the old Gators and people who've been there professionally that made it. Everybody want the Gator Nation to be back, so it's all hands on deck this year, man. And the energy is high. Everybody can feel it. You know what I mean? And we're all willing to come back and pour into the guys, man. And just do whatever it takes. So it was great, man. A lot of us haven't been back in a while. You get Marcus Thomas up there to give a speech. He's not a guy of many words, but for him to try to give them his story, to try to help navigate them as far as what not to do, and mentioning the mistakes that he made, and some of the regrets that he had, to just telling them to, don't have any regrets when you leave here. Talked about being committed to the program. You know what I mean? When you sign up to be a Gator, you're making a commitment, and our commitment is still being proven because we're coming back. So it's not just a thing that you just do for now, but it's for life. And just all of us coming back, pouring into them, man. It's important. And for them to know that we're rooting for them, them to know that we were there physically talking to them, and that we're going to be there more often. So when they're out there on that field, they know what they have to live up to. And it's not just a myth or a mystery. We were there, and we're talking to them in the flesh and giving them the different tidbits that they need to push through. So I think it's important for them. I think it's going to be big for the program. Since I've been a part of the program, this is the most I felt involved or reached, like that they've been reaching out to the former players like that, and really accepting them. So it's big. It's big.
Real quick, I'm getting this. We can call it out in the comment section. So Robert Turner says, "Sean, I love your show, but dang, you don't have to use clickbait to get people to watch. Stop it. Major changes? Question mark. Come on. Hold on, real quick. We're getting there. When you and I, here's where this is coming from, boys. Stephen Harris said there's been a lot of changes because you were there last year to this year with the coaching staff, with what's being addressed.
Yeah.
I didn't use clickbait. This was literally what you told me yesterday. Yes or no? And this shit fires me up more than anything,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
I understand what people get mad. I'm not lying. Do I have to phrase it a certain way to make it seem like it's exciting? Yeah, that's the world that we live in. But I'm not like clickbait is when you say like Stephen Harris is gonna do a front flip and then he's late to the show, right? That's clickbait. What?
No, it's no clickbait when we talk about the Gators. You either fired up or you're not.
So look, you said
everything's exciting around here.
You witnessed some things. Again, how much you can speak to, but again, you were there for the Tennessee game last year. You had your comments and thoughts on how things were running. You spoke with Ron Roberts. You spoke with Chapman. Those are some major changes. And again, how you felt that.
And it was good. I got the chance. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the chance to see Coach Roberts. He made a point to make sure that he was there, Coach Roberts, and introduce himself to everybody. And it was great to see him. I never met him, but just for him to go out his way. And then we're talking about a day. They just got out. They had to camp Friday, and so they're out for a week. Some of the guys already had went home or had things that they needed to take care of. People were missing, obviously. Sackman, I think Sapp, and a couple more guys were missing, but they had things to take care of. So them guys, taking their time to bond with each other. But just some things that I just noticed. First of all, LJ is a monster. Yeah, he's a monster, man. But the guy that stood out to me the most was our guy Cam Banks. Caleb Banks, sorry. Just his presence with the team and his demeanor. You could just tell he has great leadership qualities. Just paying attention to everything everybody was saying. He just he just exhibits everything you want out of a leader. I could just tell just by his presence there that everybody looks to him to make a big splash this year. And he just stood out to me amongst all the guys that were there as a guy that's ready to turn the corner. And it's just interesting to me the way it is now for the guys. There's so much going on with college football. They got so much given to them. Bonding to me is a big key factor that I believe is missing. You could see certain things when I first got there. They got their cell phones, they got this out, that out. Everybody's kind of in their own world. And the first thing I told them, I'm the guy that's like to get the team together. I'm a team first guy. And that was a big thing for me last year that I seen, where they didn't bond as much, talking in between the plays, just far as the camaraderie. But I could tell that that's a lot different this year. And then just touching on some of the stuff, like we asked them a couple things like what they could work on and stuff. And a lot of them was talking about their technique and how they can get better at their technique coming out their hips, which is a lot of the stuff that we touched upon and that Coach Chapman is actually doing. And everybody had high praise for Coach Chapman and how his training and what he's been doing to help them with their technique, which was impressive to me just to hear each player talk about needing work on their technique and Coach Chapman actually doing the drills that's necessary to get that done. And Carlos Dunlap was there. He's a guy that was with Coach Chapman, trained with Coach Chapman.
Spoke
and
very
to
highly
hear
of
him talk about the stuff he's seen at practice, the new techniques they're doing, it just means a lot. And just to see that we're actually fixing those things, man, that we saw is going to be tremendous for us going into this season. But more importantly, just having that support from the players. They remember the Tennessee game. They remember Marcus being out there, and they were telling them how excited they were for him to be out there and how it gave them energy. And so it's the little things like that we take for granted, but it's been missing from the program from a long time. But it just got all the other former players fired up and want to come back. It was a lot more players out there Friday night, but this meeting specifically was just the D linemen getting together and bringing the rest of the guys into the brotherhood.
Yeah, keeping it close.
So I wish I would have had a chance to see, see Slackman and Sap out there, but we'll be back out there this fall for camp.
How was talking with Ron Roberts? What was your kind of your gauge and what do you feel the major changes he's going to make to the program after talking to him?
Yeah, he was just an awesome guy. He was really just thankful that we were there. He was obviously he watched most of us play. So he was more so just, I don't want to say a fan, but he was really like shaking hands, like, man, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I guessing he's heard so much about us in the past and playing against us and stuff like that over the years. That it was just a pleasure to meet him, and just looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table. I could tell he has the respect of the team, and everybody holds him in high regards, and he values the Gators because he didn't have to be there, but he showed up.
For sure. Now, you tweeted before the show, before today, like an hour ago now, some sunglasses. That's the infamous Billy number. What's up, bro? You got insider info?
Yeah.
You keeping me in the dark?
Look, no, we all see the we all see what's going on, but
we don't don't play the no.
Look, I am close to some people, and I got some good feelings about a couple of the guys, man. I like to see what my guy Hilton's gonna do, and my boy VB, so guys, just stay tuned.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to know. But look, ultimately had a great weekend. This barbecue always happens during Friday Night Lights, but it seemed It was different. Were there any recruits there, or was it just current guys and former guys?
No, it was just the current guys and the former guys. This was
Okay.
separate from their Friday night event. Coach Chapman really wanted to do this.
Okay. So it
He's
wasn't
really
correlated with Friday Night
engaging.
Lights. Okay.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
He's really engaging with the former players. That's what has me fired up. It's been a long time before this type of engagement took place. And if you're a Gator fan, you should be excited about that. Just knowing that guys are coming back. When guys are coming back, man, that's when you know good things are gonna happen. I was there when the 10-year anniversary from the 96 team, and those guys came back and talked to us and just infused us and gave us that energy. There's nothing like having people that believe in you, and we're all coming in saying the same things, saying the same things, and depositing that in them. So it just gives them a higher sense of belief in themselves and knowing that they can get it done. I tell you what, Big Dez looks good.
Yeah.
The man looks good, man.
Okay.
The man looks good, bro.
Weight looks.
He's a massive figure, but the man looks good. Yeah, it doesn't look sloppy.
Okay.
It doesn't look.
That's how Tyler
Everything looks
Miles
tight.
workout.
Everything looks. Not everything looks tight on him, man.
He'd been on them trash bag workouts with Mr. Steven Harris. Would have been.
Yeah. Look, listen, man. A lot of us was in Dez's ear. He's ready to turn it up this year, man. So he looks good, brother, man. He looks really good, man. The workouts are sticking because all those guys are jacked. Yeah.
I love it, man. I'm glad that you were able to get back and be able to talk to those guys and see those guys. Some great insight. Since high top, we're banned from those things. We don't get invited to that stuff anymore. So thankfully, you got to hook up.
Nah, soon come.
And look, I mean, everyone's even saying in the chat, and myself included, we're ready for Champs Corner on Monday. Where we're able to. Look, it's much more fun when we're winning games to go and watch that film. But this is great to be able to get back in touch and chit chat with you. It's been a little bit, but again, great stuff. Glad you were able to go. 430 people in here, boys and girls. Be sure to smash the like button. Tell me they can give you a follow. I don't know. I shouldn't do this anymore because you're past me now, and we've got like a competition going. So, I don't know if I even want to help anymore.
Yeah, you give me a follow on X.
All right, guys. See you later.
Famo Gang. It's Famo Gang 365 on X and Gator 93 Gator on Instagram.
Well, I appreciate it, boss. We'll have to have a one-on-one about you being late after this, but
no, don't write me up.
Let's slide. I appreciate you, boss, man. Good seeing you. Good talking to you, boss. Thank you.
Alrighty, go Gators, baby.
Go Gators, Bubba.
Yes, sir.
All right, boys and girls. Hopefully the clickbait stuff, was all right. Look, great stuff, great info from Mr. Steven Harris there and from Gentry Hawk earlier on in the show. A lot of great stuff, a lot of good things happening to the Florida Gators program. Hopefully some more news from some more good news will happen over the next couple of weeks. We rocking and rolling. 430 strong, boys and girls. Be sure to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys. I love you as always. So thankful to be able to hop in here and talk to you all of you guys. Again, us getting these sponsorships, I'm sure you guys tired of hearing me kind of rant and do those things, but those allow us to continue to produce the show, and we wouldn't have those without you guys watching and showing your love. So I appreciate you. As always, man, be good. Go Gators. Get some sleep. Keep tight. Don't let the bugs bite. See you boys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.